Geraint, being from ITV, congratulations on a stellar career. What are the emotions knowing you've been quickly done on that career today?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's we watched a little montage on the bus now, and I feel myself already starting to choke up a bit. And yeah, Max and Sarah, my wife, met us on the way in. They were there, and yeah, it was nice, but it's just so surreal. I think like most stages this week, I've kind of forgot that I have to do a bike race. You know, it's just almost like a celebration before the start, and then you get going, and you're like, oh geez, I've actually got racing to do now. So yeah, it's kind of it's definitely going to be emotional, I think, coming into Cardiff.
You mentioned there, obviously, you're taking part in a race today. Are you going to allow yourself, though, that time to soak it all in, the fans cheering you on, your friends and family at the finish line?
Yeah, I think so. But, you know, the legs aren't exactly sprinkling with form at the minute. We've got a bit of an earlier job, and like yesterday, then I'll get to enjoy the ride up. Well, I enjoyed the tumble, obviously, and now at Piccadilly Mountain, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere there. It always is. So, job into that, and then enjoy that really, and the ride down into Cardiff, which is so surreal because that, you know, done that ride so many times. You know, straight down past like 100 metres in my parents' house. So yeah, an unbelievable way to finish. Just want to thank Rod and the organisers really for making this happen, because yeah, we didn't have to do it. And, this weekend has been an amazing way to cap it all off.
You started out your career at Navy flight. Did you ever envisage you'd be a double Olympic gold medalist, a Tour de France winner?
Not at all. Not at all. I think you know, always when you're a kid, you always have a dream of this and that, and just be a part of the big things and like go to the Olympics and, you know, Grand Tours and stuff. But the career and the longevity, I definitely didn't expect, and that's definitely not just down to myself, but you know, family, and I think just this team as well has been a massive part of my life, and I've, you know, got some really good friends and mates there, and that's also key to why I've had such a long career, I feel.
Yeah, and just finally, when you get to the finish line, all your family and friends will be there, special event in Cardiff Castle. What a way to top it up.
Yeah. I still don't know anything about that. Nobody wants to tell me anything. It's just like, just turn up and say a few words. So, but yeah, that would be special as well, just to say thanks to everyone, because the support I've had over the years has just been insane, and just means so much. So yeah, that would be a nice little event to do, and then a few beers with the boys afterwards.
Wonderful, Geraint. Thanks very much.
What does it mean to have, like yesterday, saw all the riders like Alaphilippe, Rankos wearing the masks of your face and taking photos with you? What's it mean to have riders like that talking about you like that?
Yeah, it's weird. It's special, you know. Luke came past with it on. I was like, you look a lot younger, man. But no, it's just it's weird, you know. Like, but I think the support I've had off a lot of the guys in the peloton has also been really nice. You know, some guys I haven't even raced with in the same team, but have messaged me this week or last week before I started, and that's nice as well. You know, people that your competitors, when they send you a nice message, it's good.
Gee, we talk about the successes you've had in your career, but you've also had quite a lot of tough lows that you've had to bounce back from. How nice is it that you can finish on your own terms?
Yeah, I think I feel really lucky. I kind of feel like I've been lucky my whole career really with how things have panned out, you know, being able to be in my prime for home Olympics. You know, the years I've had and finishing here and deciding to stop this year and then have this weekend, you know, the fact that Tour Britain's in September and can do it as my last race it's all kind of aligned, and it's unbelievable really, and yeah, I never expected that at all really, so yeah, it's stuff of dreams really. Yeah. But it's kind of strange as it's finishing, because it's been my life since I was a junior, you know. You're always thinking of the next race, you're always working towards something, so not to have that tomorrow morning will be strange, but you know, it's definitely it's the right time for sure. Definitely don't regret that, but it's doesn't take away that it's weird.
What was the overriding emotion waking up this morning, knowing that this might be the last time it's going to be out?
I was pretty sore actually, the legs. I was rooming with Swifty, and yeah, it was strange, but it was also exciting. It was a bit like, oh, it'll be a special day. So special but very emotional.
How do you manage that?
It's a strange one, like I say, you know, you kind of forget I'm at a bike race. It's all the boys and the staff, and you know, saying nice things and sort of, you know, you signing stuff, and then obviously all the fans and things is incredible. So it's hard to sort of, focus on the race really, but once you get going, you know, get a caffeine gel down and have the radio going and got to move up and up the boys or whatever, and it's alright, but it just feels so surreal. Like when Max jumped on the bus coming here, I was a bit like, what are you doing here? Like, the whole routine that I've had for like, 19 years is just out the window, because you're so set in your ways about doing things, and you find comfort in that routine really. So yeah, it's totally different, but that's what makes it really special.
Does it feel like a bit of an end of an era for British cycling with yourself and Lizzie Dyken retiring this year and Chris Froome probably going as well? How do you reflect on that?
Yeah, I guess it all has to come to an end at some point, you know, and I think when I started in 08, when it was really that cycling boom, it feels like that. I don't know if I'm right, but I think I'm one of the last guys that was part of that. So it is an end of that sort of generation, but you know, it's definitely not the end. You know, British cycling is still super strong, you know, with Cat Ferguson and, you know, Mike Brennan who's here, and Oscar, and you know, Sam Watson and, you know, Tarlin and all these guys. So it's definitely by no means any less off, but yeah, it's definitely the end of, you know, with Cav going last year, and but yeah, time to move on then.
How do you feel about having a proper Welsh weather for today, your final race as well?
Yeah, that's not ideal, you know, it would have been nice to have had at least dry weather, but yeah, as you say, it's typical Cardiff weather, isn't it? So hopefully it's dry for the finish, or at least not raining and a hassle, so people can enjoy it a bit more.
Gio, if you could change one thing from your career, what would it be? If you could do something again, would you do it differently?
Honestly, I don't think there really is much, because even the lows, you learn a lot from that and you get stronger from it, and like coming back from injuries and things, I feel like it makes you more mentally strong and more robust. But the one race where it's like, any race in Italy, to be honest, the Giro or Tirreno, you know, we're so close to them, it would have been nice to have got them, or the Rio Olympics was, you know, crashing on the last corner of that December, 10k to go, was it up for a medal? But highs and lows, innit? That's life. You don't always, you know, get what you deserve. It's ups and downs, but it's how you come back from those downs, and that's the one thing I'm just as proud of really, is how I came back from a lot of turmoil. Sounds a bit, it wasn't that bad, you know, but it's still, when it's your life, it feels like the end of the world, but to come back from the downs is just as important as those wins.
And when people look up on your career, they'll rightly remember the Tour de France, the Olympic gold medals, Grand Tour podiums. Is there any moment in particular that you're particularly fond of or proud of that perhaps might go onto the radar?
I don't know, I think maybe battling through those hard times. Like the first tour, just getting through that, or some of the days just suffering around, like Trentino, or Tour of the Alps now, like, didn't know at the time, but I had a fractured scaphoid from a crash in Tirreno, and was just battling around that race, and just, you know, the stuff that people don't see, and you know, the training when you're at home, when you're all those training camps, you know, just me and Froome come all the way to South Africa for altitude, and it just pissed down for 10 days, and you're just like there, just working hard, and yeah, I think it's the thing with any sports person really, you see the end product in it, you know, and then someone like Pog, for instance, just makes it look easy, you know, like, yeah, you know, it's easy for him, but don't see everything it takes to get to that, all the commitment and time away, and so it's not really one thing, it's just that whole package really.
How does it feel for you, knowing that you get to end this career on home soil in a place that's, you know, synonymous with you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know, sat here in this velodrome. I remember coming here in 04 with the Olympics. Guys were preparing for Athens, I think it was. And now the whole race is starting here because this velodrome is named after me and stuff. It's just bonkers. And yeah, it's just full circle to finish in Cardiff. It's amazing. And you know, it's 2k from my house to my house from the finish line. And no better way for it to finish.
Does the gravity of your impact in Wales, does it feel like it'll ever sink in, seeing all those people on the roadsides, all the people with the masks, slightly scary, I suppose, maybe in a way. Does that ever kind of really resonate with you, like the amount you've done for the sport in Wales?
Yeah, I think obviously because I've lived away for the last 13 years, or even more really, but you don't really see it. And when you come back, it's like, it is crazy. Like the homecoming after winning the tour, just this, these 4,500 tickets going to the castle was just like, it can be embarrassing when you only get rid of like 2,000, but they all went so quickly. And so, yes, I don't think you really, well, I don't anyway, you don't realise how much of an impact you have really. And I just think back when I was, we used to have racing in Maindy where, the senior riders from British Cycling come down, Rob Ailes and these sort of guys, and Chris Lloyd, Craig McLean, and getting their autographs and being so chuffed with it. And it's mad to think that people are like that with me really. But yeah, it's amazing, and I think the sport is, like I said before, it's hopefully can just continue to grow now.
This is the first off season where you don't have to think about starting training again at any point. What are you going to do over the next few months, and then what comes next?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I think, come Christmas, I won't have that in the back of my head all the time. I'm going to go skiing in January, which would be nice, first time ever. But next thing, I'm obviously talking to the team about, it's kind of job description, so to speak, is pretty much done, and it'd be a bit of a new role, so it's kind of just find my feet with that, how that works really, and just learning, because obviously as a rider I definitely got a lot of knowledge and feel like I can help out the boys a lot, but then also there's a lot of other stuff behind the scenes that as riders you don't really see, so I think it'd be more like taking that in as well and learning that, but yeah, that's on the cards. It's not definitely happening at the moment, but I'd love to continue with the team. I think, I feel like I've got a lot to give, but then the other side, just having the freedom to just do other things, a few different sports, maybe some triathlons or a bit of paddle or whatever it is, like, it seems to be popular now, doesn't it? Give that a go, or a bit of golf or something, or just do stuff that, like skiing, that I've put off for 20 years. So yeah, that freedom also feels nice.
And what about cycling? I mean, what part will riding a bike play in your life as a post-career athlete?
Oh, I think I'll definitely still ride. I still enjoy riding my bike. I just won't be pressing lap and doing efforts and stuff. So, but down in Monaco, Blusky's still there, and quite a few boys, Eddie Dunbar and that. So, still head out with them when they're on a bit more of an easy ride. But yeah, just enjoy it without the pressure and that thought in the back of your mind, you need to start losing weight now, or you need to do this and that. So it's but it's going to be weird because, like I say, that routine will just be gone, So I'll have to sort of be nice for a month or two. But I think if I don't get into some sort of structure, I think that's my life, without even knowing it. I've never been to prison, I don't know what it's like, but you kind of get, you're just used to that sort of way of every day, a certain running order of it. So I guess it could be quite like that. But
you started the first Tour of Britain in 2005. The sport has changed dramatically since then. You just described it as being like almost in prison. Like, is there some relief that you're jumping off the crazy train at this point in time?
Well, I mean the routine is like, I don't mean like
yeah.
It's not that strict, but yeah, it's the data and everything and the way teams work, and it's a lot more. Everything's looked at, and it's good for sure. It's just evolving, and it's the way forward. But I think it also you still need a bit of art to it. It's not just a science. You need a bit of that old school, like just feeling, not just being told how you feel because of an app or something. Or yeah, like if you're hungry, just have some more pasta just because your app said something else. So, but yeah, I'm lucky to have experienced a lot of different things as well. The track, all the different races on the road, and being in those two different eras of, in British cycling, we were always about, looking at every angle and stuff. So it's not like I'm against that, but it's gone pretty extreme now. But yeah, experience it all.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you.